My name is Kaylee Fix, and my son is Christian Fix, and he has gone here for this last school year. Before that, we were part of the Family Learning Center, which just made huge strides for him. So it was without hesitation when we made it off the wait list and we were offered a position here for a full-time student. We did not hesitate, and he's just continued to thrive ever since becoming a full-time student. So we've really, really loved it.
Hi, I'm Shelby Harvey, and my son is Gavin. And much like Christian, Gavin started in the FLC program. And when we got the email that we would be starting in choral class, there was a lot of cheering and crying and excitement. And he has thrived this year, being with Miss Cheyenne and his other teachers. So.
My name is Alexandra. My son is Cristobal. And we were told about Little Lighthouse from the Sooner Start program. He was in Sooner Start, and there was a lady that would come to our house, and she told us about the Family Learning Center. And so we started attending those classes back in 2022.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. And just to start off our questions, what initially led you to choose Little Lighthouse? We know that there's a lot of wonderful organizations. What led you to choose here, and how did you know that it was the right fit?
I have the mic, so I guess I'll go first. Yes, there are probably a lot of organizations, but Little Lighthouse was one that I was familiar with. One of my dear friends, her older sister came here and graduated from here. And we just knew that our family looks a little different than some other families do, and we felt accepted right off the bat. Gavin clicked with so many of the staff here. He had friends here that he interacts with, that we've had play dates with inside and outside of Little Lighthouse. So it was just kind of instant family, and it just made sense.
I knew that we wanted to be here when I heard about the family learning program, that the parents would get to attend the class with the kids, because I really wanted to learn more about what was going on and ways that I could help him. So that was the biggest reason that we thought it would be great here.
We learned about Little Lighthouse and the Family Learning Center through Building All Children. That was a great resource for us and a great starting point, just because, like a lot of special needs parents, we got our diagnosis and I knew nothing about autism. And from, like Alexandra was saying, from the second we got here, being a part of the Family Learning Center, the parent gets as much guidance and as much education as the student. And that was monumental for me because, again, I knew nothing about autism. I knew nothing about how he operated. And so just having that example of being able to sit in and watch the teachers and the therapists work with him, it was like a crash course in what I can do at home and how I can help him. So,
thanks, you guys. We're glad that you're all here and that it was the right fit. Can you share what were some of your biggest fears and challenges before coming to Little Lighthouse, and how have those changed over time?
My number one biggest fear was, any parent is going to worry about the well-being of their child and if they're loved, if they're taken care of. And I feel like that just becomes even more heightened whenever you have a special needs child. And from the second we walked through these doors, Christian became a part of the family. And it wasn't just, we know him or he's in choral class. They knew the ins and outs of him. They knew how he operated, what he could tolerate. And it's literally felt like an all hands on deck, big loving family. And I always stand by the slogan, Disneyland is not the happiest place on earth. It's happy. This place is the happiest place on earth.
As Gavin got older and we were thinking about him going to school, public school terrifies me for him. He's an eloper. It's gotten a lot better, but he still tends to have the biggest goal of getting away from you as fast as he can. But now he'll, a successive little lighthouse, he will stop and look for you if he gets too far away, or he just won't run at all and will stay with you. So just little things, little fears, like him eloping out of a classroom and teachers not being able to find him, or being one of many and getting lost. That was a big fear. And I didn't have that when it came to Little Lighthouse, because it is not uncommon. I have watched so many staff members here kick off their sandals and take off flying down a hallway after my child, who is a little speed demon. He's fast. And in fact, it happened yesterday. Thank you, Miss Mindy, wherever you are. So I think coming here at the beginning in FLC, my fears were, will he participate? Will he be interested in the activities? Will he make friends? Will he have friends that don't speak with mouth words like he doesn't speak with mouth words? And those fears were quieted very quickly.
I was mostly scared that it was going to be hard for us to make a connection with him. And it's changed a lot since he started coming here. It's a lot easier for all of us as a family to be able to communicate with him and know what he needs and wants.
That's awesome. Thanks, you guys. Can you guys each describe a moment of breakthrough at school that has been especially meaningful to your family? Like you mentioned, it's not just the student who's impacted, it's the parents, it's even siblings. So could you share just a breakthrough that's helped your family as a whole?
I think it was about 2 years ago. It was either the Christmas party or one of the monthly family gatherings. Brooklyn is the occupational therapist for the Family Learning Center. She was playing with Cristobal for like 10 or 20 minutes. And he had never really said anything at that point. He was mostly nonverbal. And she told him, she said, "Okay, buddy, I'm going to leave you alone now, okay? Thanks for playing with me." And he just said, "Thank you." And Brooklyn just started crying, and it just really meant a lot to me to see that, like, that meant a lot to her, you know, knowing that the people that work here, they really do love the kids, and it means a lot to them when the kids make breakthroughs like that.
Can I tell on you? Can this be a joint thing? Okay. So when it came time to do mini laps when we were in the Family Learning Center, I made the selfish decision that Gavin wasn't going to enjoy mini laps, and it was going to be stressful for both of us, so we just didn't do it. And this year, because he was in the DC program, he was in choral class, we were kind of forced out of our comfort zone in the best way and had to do mini laps. And Kaylee and I had many conversations about how Christian and Gavin were going to, they were either going to really surprise us or they were going to prove us right. And I just kept saying, we have to give them a chance to prove us wrong. Like, this is going to be a good thing. This is a good day, blah, 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 you know, trying to hype us up. And the morning of mini laps, I was a nervous wreck. I knew Gavin was coming out in his costume and his anemone on his cute little tricycle, and I just was hoping for the best. And when I saw my son ride through the little boardwalk and make his lap on the tricycle, with the sign that said, you know, hold the applause so that he would be the most comfortable, my heart exploded. And that was the moment that, one, he proved me wrong. And two, I can see that he's just grown so much, and it's been really amazing. Sorry.
Thank you. Now that because Gavin came out before Christian, and I was crying the whole time. Just so proud of all of the choral kids. But yeah, that was a big moment for us because we had participated in mini laps the year prior, and Christian was so anxious and so nervous that I ended up carrying him around the 2 years ago. And so this last year, to see him with all of the confidence, with a smile on his face, with his teacher, shout out to Miss Cheyenne, she is a miracle worker, to see him run around that lap with all the confidence on his own, with his teacher, just thriving. I mean, it was a completely different kid. And that Nathan and I, my husband, his dad, we constantly see that big change in him. I mean, he will talk to people, look in their faces. He goes out of his way to, like, we had our new student join this morning, and he actually walked up to him and said, "Hi, Maddox, look, I have 6 and 7 on his little, numbered puzzle." And that's something that would have never even happened. I mean, he would not have even acknowledged the other kid's existence. And if the other child would come, too close in his bubble, it would be a complete meltdown. And so to see him welcoming this child he doesn't even know it just took my breath away.
Thanks, you guys, for sharing that. For those who don't know, Mini Laps is one of our annual events, and each of our students gets to take a fun lap around our circle drive outside, and it's beloved. And a lot of our community does get to come and see our students and cheer them on for each of their milestones and miracles that have happened throughout the year. Speaking of community and all of the people that support you, how does the community play a role here, and how have relationships with other families or staff impacted you?
I will never be able to say enough great things about Cheyenne, his teacher. She holds a very near and dear place in my heart and has played a huge role in Christian's development and progress. With her and all of the therapists that we've encountered with both sides, the family learning side and this side, they just go above and beyond to not only make sure that Christian's getting what he needs and has what he needs to make all of this progress, but they want to make sure I'm prepared too. And they, send things home or give mom homework, and they work with the parent as well. But also, whenever you become a special needs mom, it's like, my parents didn't have a special needs child. My best friend doesn't have a special needs child. And so you really kind of sometimes feel like you don't have someone to relate to. And so that's why I'm so grateful to have the Coral Moms, because it's just an instant connection, an instant friendship. I know no matter what I'm going through or what, Christian's going through, I can call them and they get it. They're right there with me.
I got to start FLC with a friend of mine from high school, and we had reconnected. Her little boy is in Gavin's class too. His name's Bo. So Bo and Gavin have the same birthday. They have the same diagnosis, and they're both non-speaking, and they use an AAC device. And some of the funniest things that I've watched happen are the two of them fight over whose device is whose. They don't do it with anybody else. They leave Lindley's words alone. But each other's, they can just flip back and forth. But so I got to start FLC with Bree and Bo, and we went through that program together and got to watch our boys grow, and they just developed a friendship. And so then we went into choral class already having that friendship. And shortly after, we started a group chat called Coral Moms, and we've talked about everything, gotten to know each other's families, and really just continued to make a connection. And so it's just nice to know that while some days it feels really lonely, these other moms and parents, they get it, and we're not alone. Our kids' journeys are similar because yes, they are all, autistic, but they are so vastly different. It's really kind of a cool thing to look at all of them and how different they are, but how alike they are. And it's nice to know that we will probably always have this bond, and it'll go far past the end of choral class. For sure.
Yeah, I just want to piggyback. It is really nice being able to be around other families who are going through similar situations. And it's really nice that here at Lighthouse they put they make certain events with certain activities that cater to all the kids' differences, and our family is able to participate in a lot of things that normally we can't go out and participate in. So it's really nice that they do that here.
Awesome. Well, I just want to have everyone give them a big round of applause, and thank you guys so much for just who you are and for sharing a little bit of your hearts with us today.